one of my whole philosophies is this idea of heartprint. It's what the book's about. And it is that if you and I were identical twins, which I know is literally impossible because we the best we could be is fraternal, right? But if we were literally identical twins and we had the same DNA, we grew up in the same systems, and we went to the same school and infrastructure, culture, you and I would have a very different heartprint. And you would need to be connected to yours to grow in the direction that is you. And I would need to grow into mine, even if we looked almost like our parents couldn't tell us apart at the age of 35. Our lives would have to be quite different in order to satisfy who we are. So when we're talking about high achieving women, we can't make generalizations like even if they get it wrong, because we can't see what their heartprint is. And the other piece of the puzzle, I think, is that everybody is working on something and everybody has a question that they're trying to figure out in this life, a really hard question. And sometimes we can't tell what that person's question is from a distance. So I would say for those high achieving women, there is a heartprint piece of the puzzle. There is a needs based. There could be all kinds of tangles of pain and confusion in their past that are a driver, or it could be something totally different that we can't see. I guess what we want to get to is if you are a person who is in that space where life doesn't feel like you're nourished and connected and you don't feel that fulfillment or satisfaction, then what we could guess is that there's a gap between you, who you are on the inside, and the life you've made on the outside.
What is it exactly that you find elite performers in whatever field that may be? What is it that you find elite performers listen to internally?
Goodness, this is a fun podcast because this is a really fun question. So my beautiful brain, my heartprint, it maps things. And so if we were looking at an elite performer, whether it's an athlete, a musician, a creative, wherever you see that level of differentiation, because elite is, already is putting us in the small percentage of the humans, then what we are looking at is like a spiky profile, essentially. We're looking at someone who has a very big strength in one area. And that is a really interesting conversation because when we're looking at strengths, we're looking at a brain that chooses the thing it's good at unconsciously all the time. Because brains like to protect their energy sources. They like to go with what they're good at. And sometimes that's to our detriment because we could choose something different, but we go with the familiar. And so the internal experience of somebody who is an elite performer in any category is one where the baseline is kind of underpinned by the brain's preference for that strength. And which is often least resistance, to be honest. They often are entwined. And so brains, they use a lot of energy. So they don't like doing new things. They find it threatening and they find it uses a lot of power. And so given any kind of context, the brain is going to choose the fastest way to resolve back to homeostasis.